I think we are live. Got the buddy on a buddy pillow. All right, what's up? Who do we got? Searching for tone. Got Jeff, Ben, Retro, Chris, Michael, Ken, Zach, Fruitless Ed, Frank C, Chris Adams, Jimmy P, got Gary, Super Lead, got Trolls, got the other Gary Davlin. What's up, dude? And can I say Trolls? Got EC, and Chris and Matt and Wendell, and Steve and Strat CPO, and Ron. Yeti Matsi, J Shaft. What's up, speaker? What's up, Double R Guitar? Well, we got Matt, we got Jeff, John. We got Metal Maniac, Johnny R. Kramer, Chris, we got Browns fan. Oh, Gary. So sorry to hear that. I just catching up with the chat here. Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I'm so sorry, man. What's up, Terry? I see Nelson. I see Ambrose. I see Jim. Someone was saying, are we getting snow tomorrow? I think so. And because it's a real cold wind, it should be very light and fluffy. I don't think I'm going to have to use the snowblower. I think the shovel will work just fine, because it's going to be pretty light and fluffy as we understand it. And it's not going to be very much. It's going to be more north and west of us, I think. Yeah, you like the dark cherry finish? They're not kidding. It is cherry. It's just dark. Though, when we were looking at it, the speaker was over. He was looking at it. He's like, it does actually, you can see it is a little reddish. He goes, it's not really black. He goes, especially when you compare it to the pickguard. It definitely looks a little more red, like super dark maroon red than the black of the pickguard. Plus you get the gold hardware. It is not black, Gary. It is actually I think they call it aged cherry. It's dark. I think you can... Sure. I think we can all agree. It's dark. And it's a 61, so it has the half plate and the smaller neck than the standard. And because this is like a special edition with your special dark paint, you get the gold hardware treatment. the 60s knobs. Nice knobs. Yeah, he says he had the same exclusive from Sounds in the person. You can see the reddish. You can. It's definitely got, like, it's like black with like a red tint, you know? But if you put up a super strong light, or, and I was talking with Speaker about it, and we agreed that maybe if you put it out in sunlight, it would probably look way more red, you know, than it would black. Am I keeping it? No. Yeah, what is sunlight? Yeah, we had a little bit of snow. It was quiet for a little bit. And cold, though. Cold and windy for a few days. The cold and the wind came back. And then it's a little mild today, without a doubt. But that's just the leading edge of much colder air. And I think that's the air that's going to mix with this moisture that's going to head our way. And it's going to be the light, fluffy snow. That's what it's looking like now. We'll see. And then it's, I think, going to be super cold by like Tuesday, Wednesday. I have to leave Wednesday morning at like, I have a 7 a.m. flight, so I'm probably going to be leaving here at like, I don't know, probably like 5 at the latest. I have to catch the 5:20, maybe the 5:30 bus. They run pretty frequently, you know. I think they have 3 buses going at any one time. And you take the bus into the airport, which should be a piece of cake, like right in. But I probably have to be in there by like 6 a.m., you know, so I got to be on like pretty early bus. It's going to be cold. What do you think we'll see from NAMM that's interesting? I think, you know, there's going to be a few releases. You're starting to see them trickle out. I think Marshall has something cooked up that they're going to be unveiling. They're back there. I don't know that they were there last year. I'd have to double check. They certainly weren't there. They started to skip it. Maybe they were there. I don't think they were there last year. But they're back this year. I don't know that Orange was there last year. I'd have to double check, but they're back this year. Used to go to the Woburn Transportation Center, take the bus in. Yeah, I do the same thing, but in Braintree. Are you still planning to take the DJI Osmo Action 5? I don't think I am. I don't think I am. I think I'm sort of out on the, it doesn't do a good close-up shot, and that's really required. And my cam on my phone, it might not do quite as good in low light, but I'll have plenty of light. It's going to be like just a lot of light. It can work in the light I'll be in. And then the sheer like bit rate, like between files, it's much better on the Galaxy. Unfortunately, the day I fly out, Samsung is announcing the new camera, so it'll be like a whole year before I'll get to use it in action at the NAMM show. They tend to coincide. So I am not going to have the new cam with me, but I will. I haven't sent the other one back. I've just been so busy, but I think maybe, well, we'll see. If I have a chance, I'll do it before I even go. It's just easier to carry around one device. So I'm going to carry, just the one device. And then I just have a microphone. I do have a set of those, the new mini mics. They're wireless. So we'll give those a try. I might be able to. I usually bring a close-up mic, but I don't think I will. Again, it's just more to pack. Five to 8 inches tomorrow in Central Maryland. Yeah, and then a freezing tundra Monday through Wednesday. That's pretty much what we're looking at too. What's boring, Jeff? If it's not working for you, fuck off up the Model Village. I saw that THU's Essentials. If you buy it now, you're going to get the new TH2 for free. I'm going to, I have a book. I have a booking meeting planned with Ilio. So I will be checking out the new THU 2. Hey, what's up, Ben? Good to see you, man. I think NAMM will actually be good this year. Last year, people were saying it was the first time they felt it was back. And I have to say, one of those days, it was really busy. It was packed in there. And I was like, this feels like NAMM. Like hard to get down an aisle. And the aisle is 40 feet wide. Like this feels pretty big. We're expecting a little bit of snow and then followed by an Arctic plunge. So by Wednesday, it's going to be in the single digits. Pretty cold. I like salty. This is nice, Steve. You don't even want to know salty, Steve. Speaker can verify. Coffee question: black or cream and sugar? I use half and half and Splenda. I don't do the sugar. They say Splenda is better, but is it though? I don't know. Steve, don't get a food poisoning. It's on my to-do list to not get food poisoning. I don't think it was food poisoning last time. I think it was the stomach virus. I had taken more. I think I forget where I was. I took something, some sort of public transportation, and I think that was the end of me. So I definitely, that was more of a stomach virus than it was. Splendor. Well, the spelling might look different. I need a remote starter. God, I miss having a remote starter. I had one in my friggin' Dodge minivan. The woman next door, her Jeep has one, and she's a nurse, so she's leaving at sometimes 5 in the morning, and she'll start it up remotely. Get that thing going, warming up. I don't blame her. You're your wife's remote starter, sure. Get out there and start the car. Use stevia. A lot of people like that, but stevia for some people, and myself included, it's a little bit more on the bitter side. It tastes a little bit more bitter flavor. But other people are like, no, I don't taste it tastes sweet to me. There is a certain percentage of people that taste a slight bitter taste with stevia. Had a stomach virus Christmas week. Good times. Yeah, it's the worst. Miss driving a minivan out of all the cars you owned. It was good when we had the kids. My God, we could just load them all in and go to wherever. I was trucking kids around quite a bit. It was the family trucks are all right. I was taking I was the driver for some band group. That was weekly. But I had to pick up the kids in the afternoon anyway. So I was the drop-off car in the carpool. I think I had 3 or 4 kids. And I would drop them off at band at a different school on the other side of town. But then one of the other moms would drive him back, so I'd have to go pick him up. And that was late, and very often after dark. So I got the better of that, doing the drop-off than the pickup. Had a stomach bug last week. Yeah, it's the worst. Because you can't get comfortable. When you have stomach pain like that, it's like there's no good position. Everything just sucks. You're like, everything sucks. I want this stomach pain to go away. Car gets stolen while warming up around here, it's a crime for the car owner. Yeah, we don't have that, but I knew dudes who used to leave their cars running. I mean, we just leave that car running. It was crazy. You have a dude who used to visit my dad. He'd be in there, I swear to God, for a couple of hours. I'd go out there, and I could hear his truck was running. I'm like, is your truck running? He goes, yeah, keep it warm. I'm like, what are you doing? Like hours. I wonder if it was trouble starting and he didn't want to have to start it, get a jump. It's like you were at a garage. You could have jumped it very easily. But... a dongle for an iPhone. I used to use the Positive Grid one, but that was a long time ago. I have no idea how good it is. You know, there might be better ones out there. Certainly more choices. But that one worked. You could get pretty much real time out of it. I was getting very low latency with an iPad. You know, it was pretty good. Now that I think about it, that one might have been so old it didn't plug into the Thunderbolt port, probably now a USB-C port. Back then, I think it plugged in through the headphone microphone jack. Which would explain the low latency, right? Because everything's happening inside the, right inside the dongle. Think the SG will be a keeper? No, I don't have the cash for something like this right now. That's a NAMM show right there. More. I got my hotel really cheap, and I called the hotel because I was so worried that Joey Jojo Shabadoo's hotel booking agency wasn't on the up and up. So I was a little nervous, a little bit, that I wasn't going to have I was going to show up and they go, all you have to do is show up and say your name. You don't need anything else, maybe an ID. And I was like, okay. And then I called the hotel last week, and I was like, you have my reservation? They're like, we sure do. I said, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. So, should be set to jet. The only other thing that's of worry is getting an Uber early in the morning. That used to be no problemo. 3 a.m., 4 a.m., I could go on and get an Uber, take me to the airport. Now, the last time we went, it was tricky. And when the guy picked us up, he was like, when he found out we was going to the airport, he was like, is this the airport? Like, you could tell. He would not have taken it if he had realized he was taking us to LAX. And we were like, yeah. He was like, oh, okay. And he drove us to LAX, which is a bit of a drive. It's like a 40-minute drive. And I gave him a little extra tip when we were there. He was really happy about that. I happened to have a little cash. And as I was walking away, I said, oh, here, just take this. He was like, oh, thanks. He's like, I really appreciate that. I think he was bummed about going all the way to LAX, but... the trip was like $90 or something. It's not like, it was probably his best fare of the friggin' day. They like the short trips, though. They like the little $8, $12 trips. The cost of this SG, $19.99 new. I think this blem was $16.99. So you can live with a blem that I couldn't find, then you're good to go. Which I think is pretty much the same as all the 61s. $19.99. The standard is $17.99. Oh, they get the same pay no matter how far? No. It depends on how long the trip is. It's not a flat rate. Couldn't be. You couldn't work like that. Any booth appearances at NAMM? None that I have solidly booked. I I was talking about maybe doing something at Furch, but I have nothing prepared, so nothing's going to happen. I'm going to just walk around and shoot a bunch of footage. That's all I'm doing. How bad's the neck dive? I don't know about that bad. Not that good. Oh, right there. There it is. But arm down, whoop, up, down, what? Right there. There it is. Whoop, 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 whoa. See, it's different when you get picked up at the airport. When you're at the airport, everybody knows they're probably going to be driving you pretty far. It's the other way around that's tricky. It's getting back to the airport. Again, this used to be no problem. I could get a car like nothing. And this time, last time, I couldn't get a car, and luckily, I was with Hunter, Agufish, and he was able to get one through Lyft, and I just Venmo'd him the money. The MXR X100 Rockman pedal looks super cool. I hope NAMM has something. I think Dunlop is there, along with MXR. Let's see if we can call up the old Mapparoonie. I gotta think they're around here somewhere. Lyon and Healy. That's who's this is who is the importer, the distributor for Chapman. I thought we saw them last year. I mean, last week. We were looking around and we ran into them. Where were they? Are you there, Dunlop? They usually have a pretty good-sized booth. You know, boutique amps. Wow, they've really moved. They're way more centrally located than they were last year. All right, Positive Grid. You got your Floyd EMG. A few different. Warwick's got a pretty big booth, along with Rockboard and Sadowski. Electro Harmonics. We down in there's the Bola booth. They kept telling me, "Oh yeah, we're not going to do a booth." Then they were like, "You know what? I think we might do like just sort of like a meetup, like a meeting room or something like that." And then it cut to like a couple of months ago. They're like, we're doing a booth." I'm like, all right, there you go. Yeah, we're getting down into the more of the import stuff, like Sir. Oh, Sir's got to be psyched. They're right next to Cream Guitars, which is this is that giant display with all the naked pink mannequins. You know, it's like a dystopian. There's Donna. Donna's got a huge booth. Schecter, Hoshino, Seymour Duncan, Bad Cat. That'll be pretty good. Eastman, Strandberg. DeLeo. All right, let's see. That would have been, who are they there? Would it be under MXR? No. I think it's under the parent company. Is it Dunlop? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. There you go. Dunlop. Right between Quilter and Abassi Concepts. Across from Shack. Bellcat. Walrus. You're stuck between a Shack and a Walrus. Look at that. And delicious audio. God, and orange amps. There's a lot of food in this corner. Quilter. I don't even know her. Viper. I didn't even touch her. New X. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Neural DSP. Magnatone. Got some good ones. Just checking the comments here. Never heard of that company, Entrance. What do they make? They are a life-saving company should there be a problem. Entrance becomes an exit. You know, they say walk this way. And yeah, see, now you're going to get into, this is, I swear, this is all drum stuff. I think we're into drum. Yeah, see, drumsticks. And you'll see more like Turkish names because for cymbals, right? Like, see this, like Trachean, like Zildjian. There was one back here. Yeah, Tianjin, right? They try to little, definitely trying to have a certain market. There's a lot, huh? Jesus. Yeah, this is the lounge. I remember hanging out here because they have you can charge your phone there. They have food, but the food's kind of pricey, as is the water. Ludwig. Who's here for Cannonball? Who is here? All right, see, now you're getting into a little bit of this Korg, like keyboards and tech stuff. I did not see, is Spectra Sound Studios here? No. Did I spell it wrong? Oh. No. So they're not there. They're usually there. I'm hearing a rumpa-dump cat. So that's Hall B. There's Hall A. This tends to be like DJ equipment, like live sound. And that carries over into the downstairs one here, like Shure, right? Loudspeakers, audio. Again, more like live sound and recording and things like that. Microphones, digital. This is like, you know. And then the same on the second floor, because up here on the second floor of the new building, I have a friend who's here at Adam Hall. And there are big, giant PA systems, like enormous PAs. What's great about them is they have this lounge here. They own up until this, like, these markers here or something. And there's like a walkway out here for people to walk on, but they get this to themselves. It's like a private deck. And let me tell you, when you want to take a break and it's breezy and you're out there on the private deck sipping a cold water, it's pretty nice. Get away from the crowds. It's quiet. Wow, they have two. This is also Adam Hall. Wow. And out here is going to be Gravity and Palmer. Okay, makes sense. They have a few different brands. Sennheiser, Tascam. Yeah, you know, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Here's sort of the whole thing. And then there's the water fountain right here. And then down here, they usually have a stage. I think that's like one of the stages. Then they have one in this hotel, and they have one in this hotel. So, and yeah, and then now that I think about it, that's right. They do have them out here now, too. I think these are outside stages or places or some shit on the other side of the arena, which used to be pretty cool to walk through. I used to cut through the arena all the time. And what's cool about the arena is it used to be like lighting and stage effects. So it was always giant beats going on with massive light shows going on like nonstop and smoke machines galore. It's like you wanted it. It was like just, it was crazy, which is why they did it out here. They did it in the arena because it was, you know, it was, you know, a little off-putting with all the, you know, with all the smoke and the lights and the 4 and the 4, boom, 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 like nonstop. But they don't do that anymore. It's not out there any longer. So I'm usually hanging here in Hall D. Now, Hall E last year was closed. Got your badge down here. Hall E is back open again. And it looks like they're sticking a lot of these are acoustic guitars, right? Natasha, Santa Cruz, Loudon, Collings, Ryan, Firk. Those are all, I think these are ukuleles. These are all acoustic instruments down here. They put them all down. But then it gets into like international. And then, of course, a giant badge registration. Woo, it's dry. Hold on. Woo, gotta drink my coffee. And, of course, our networking sessions. What is attendance again, 50K? They used to say that it would be about 100,000 people a day and about 250,000 unique people over the weekend. But that's when it was a 4-day show. Last year, certainly Friday felt like it was 100,000 people. It was jammed. And someone was saying, like, Friday is the new Saturday. It used to be you'd go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday was kind of quiet. Friday got much busier. Saturday was really busy. And Friday and Saturday was a lot of, like, artist appearances. And then you'd get to... Saturday would be by far the biggest. And then Sunday would be much quieter. It's like half of the friggin', you know, people walking around flew home. So, I only went all 4 days one time. I used to go Thursday. I would fly in on Wednesday, go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and fly home on Sunday. This year, I'm flying in on Wednesday. I'm going Thursday, Friday, and I'm flying home on Saturday. And the reason being is staying over that one more night from Saturday to Sunday was a lot more money. The hotel price shot up. I'm paying like $114 a night. That is like insanely low for that room. If they're quoting me right now, like it's like $289 a night for that room. So I'm sure that my 114 pretty damn good. I bought that back in October, and then to go over from Saturday to Sunday flight wise as well, super expensive. Like added at least another 150, 200 bucks, onto the cost. It was much more expensive to fly back on Sunday. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And everybody's leaving on Sunday. I heard last time people were having trouble getting drivers to go to the airport just because there was no show on Sunday. So everybody's leaving. So, there's a huge demand for cars, even at 5 in the morning. So now I'm leaving a day early. All right, there's a strategy to that. Don't stay through the last day. Right, it's the equivalent of leaving during the first song of the encore. Okay, later. That's a good deal for a room. That's a really good deal for Anaheim. That might be one of the best I've ever paid out there. Who was also pretty good? I used to pay about $150. Was it was a Comfort Inn, and it came with a free breakfast. Actually wasn't bad. It was a nice little place. This place was the place I stayed in 2014, my first year I went, and it was fine. It was fine. A little Disney centric, as a lot of them are, because Disneyland is right there, but it's fine. The hotel is fine. In fact, it's probably a little nicer than the Peacock Suites, which was a lot more money this year. Could not get a room at the Peacock Suites. Surge pricing too. Yeah, exactly. You're going to get ganked on the price, and you're competing with so many other people to get a ride. No. Listen, Buddy is a simple cat. He just needs a pillow to sleep on because, God damn it, he deserves it. It's like, I'm a pillow kitty. I'm not going to lie. All right, so someone brings up a good point. Mr. Mick says, are you going to do a late show next Saturday? So next Saturday, I fly back at 7 a.m. I want to say I land here at 4 p.m. You figure I'm probably going to get home by about 6 p.m. I might be able to start the show at 7, but maybe not. I might take a shower. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably be hungry, have some food, and then maybe I'll make it later. I'll play it by ear, but I will do a show that night, certainly before midnight Eastern Standard Time. I just probably have to, I will have just gotten off of a 6-hour flight, 6.5-hour flight. So I'll be probably looking to decompress a tiny bit. You know what? I'll have a bunch of photos. We'll do a friggin' slideshow. I think Vegas could handle the size regarding them. I've been to the Amazon conferences in Vegas, about 55,000 people across 6 venues. Yeah. It's a huge venue. It really is. And the reason why they do it in January there is because there's a lot of hotel rooms there built up for Disneyland. And Disneyland is, quite off-season in January. So they pick the off-season next to Disneyland, and that's right. It's actually not a bad idea. And so they do their big show when Disneyland is, at probably 20% of their normal attendance. Yeah, a little bit of jet lag maybe. I'm also seeing a cat butt right there. Oh, Buddy Cat's not the only cat that's spoiled. I assure you. I assure you. So, we'll see. Like I said, I have a wireless Bluetooth mic thing now. So we can do, and I've already confirmed it works with my phone. So, I'm probably just going to use that. I'm actually going to probably use the ultra wide lens for a lot of the shooting, because while the main lens certainly is on paper in every way a better lens with better everything, it can't do a close focus very well. You get too close, it's not good. Whereas the ultra wide, it works up to like 1 centimeter away, which is admittedly pretty close. And when you get that close, it resolves so much more detail. So in my experimenting around, I found it was better to have the ultra wide. You capture more of the room, and then you can zoom in closer. It actually seems to be a better situation all around. So we'll see. And it has optical stabilization. And if there's enough light, which there should be, I can even add digital stabilization, but we'll see. The optical's probably enough. What I've seen, it's fine. I think the red would be more apparent with white plastics. I don't know. In this guitar, I just think it's a really, really dark red. I don't know. Yeah, you can't even really. That's a dark light. That's not bringing out anything. You need like a... Do I have a super bright light here? I do not. Looks good though. Dude, imagine a NAMM in Vegas. That would be insane. Well, it would probably be cheaper for me to go than to fly to LAX. I'm sure Vegas might be even a little cheaper. Usually flying to Vegas is pretty cheap. And there's tons of flights from, oh, there goes a, you jump in there, booty boots? No? There she goes. You all right? Bring my press pass with me. NAMM has offered to give me a press pass. I have declined so far because I like the exhibitor badge because I can get in as early as 8 a.m. The show doesn't start until 10 a.m. So I can get in 2 hours before the show starts. And that allows me to walk around with a lot fewer people and a lot less noise. When I did those walk-arounds last year, those 2 walk-arounds, that was before the show opened. It'd be a lot busier if the show was actually going at that time. Those are all people that have exhibitor badges. The press badge may get me into some things, like some events, but I don't think it's worth it. And you can have more than one badge. I certainly have had more than one badge in many years. But I'm good. Vola gave me an exhibitor badge, and I'm good. Last year, Rev hooked me up with an exhibitor badge, which was so awesome. It's good to have. It's good to have contacts. Again, they were offering me a press badge last year, and I just did not want to take that press badge because it's way limiting, right? It's way more limiting than having an exhibitor badge. I'll give you an example. A company gave Max, you know Guitar Max? They gave Guitar Max a guitar. And we were over at, could have been Rev, or it was near Rev. There was a guy that had a booth, and they were doing a lot of Vola guitars. Vola didn't have a booth, but had somebody like using a lot of their guitars in their amp booth or whatever. And he came by, and we're like, oh, what you got there? He's like, oh, they gave me a guitar, and all this stuff. And Greg was like, yeah, you're not walking out of here with that. He's like, no. He's like, no, absolutely not. So I said, I go, yeah, you need an exhibitor badge to be able to take like a backpack in and out, to be able to take a guitar in and out. You can't, no, yeah, you need me. So I wound up taking the guitar and carrying the guitar out with my exhibitor badge. And once we got past the security and out into the free world, I gave him the guitar. He goes, wow, that's pretty crazy. I said, yeah, it's security. If you don't have an exhibitor badge, that at least narrows it down to a lot fewer people. Yeah, you can't walk in and out with a piece of gear in your hand if you don't have an exhibitor badge. So that's why it is really good to have one. Because if someone does give you something to take home, you can take it home. You can literally take it back to your hotel. If you don't have an exhibitor badge, that's not happening. Exactly, I'm a guitar mule. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I was talking to him a little bit because he had just had a baby. So he was picking my brain about fatherhood. I'm like, oh, shit's about to get real. Like literally. Yeah, God, we were just thinking about that today. I was talking to my wife. She's like, because we have one who's halfway through her junior year in college, and we have another one that's sort of a freshman in college, because he went through the EMT program first, and now he's back on track with college. And she's like, all this, everything we went through. I'm like, I know. She goes, it's a young man's game. I go, it is. I don't think we can do it now. God, so much freaking work. It's crazy. You need to go to the security booth and they'll give you a pass to take items out. I did it last year. Okay. Yeah, it's easy just to walk out with the badge. And then I think you have to take someone from the booth that's giving you the item to sort of vouch that you didn't steal it. Might be a little bit extra work. He just wanted to go. I was like, I can walk you out, bro. I have actually some amazing news. As you know, as I've mentioned many times, the number one priority when you go to NAMM is finding someone to buy you dinner. Okay? And to that end, I've already secured my first dinner. Like they did last year, Adam Hall is having a NAMM opener party Wednesday night, featuring the same thing. They'll have a live band and free beer and tacos. And you know what's better than a taco? A free taco. So I am looking for. They're actually quite gourmet, with everything. They make them right there. You just tell them what you want, and they whip it up right there. They have all the meats and cheeses and everything. You go get yourself a nice beer. The woman last year was trying to push me onto this Mexican lager. It's really good. I'm like, I'm sure it is, but I'm actually familiar with Mexican lagers. They're a little bright, kind of like an IPA. She goes, yeah. I'm like, I hate IPAs. So, Oh, they are authentic tacos. Absolutely. Taco. Burrito. I know, I have an EMT in my family for emergencies. Exactly. So he's trying to go pre-med, but, that wears off. We'll see how that goes. That sounds expensive. I'm gonna say, maybe not. Once you've tasted German Weiss beer, all other beers taste like water. I do like a good unfiltered Weiss beer. Wit beer. Wheat beer. Wit beer. I think speaking of German beers, I think the Mexican lager is kind of like a Hell's beer, right? Brighter. Right, it's a brighter brew. Which fellow YouTuber would you say is your closest friend? Robert Baker, Tone King. Oh, they're both good close friends. In fact, I text with Robert Baker actually quite a bit. When we get new guitars, we text each other. I see a lot of his stuff before he goes live with it. And Tone King, same thing, but I don't think we text each other quite as much as I will with Baker. But I've never been to Baker's house, and I've been to Tone King's house, and Tone King's been to my house, right? So in that sense, right, maybe a little bit more of a relationship. But then again, when I'm at NAMM, a lot of times Tone King wasn't there for a couple of months, but Baker was there, and I was hanging out with Baker like the whole time. And certainly at like Summer NAMM, I think, one. So anyway. Being in science or medicine would be a great way to spend working hours. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a doctor, but you can get a degree in a lot of different medical professions and medical areas that can do pretty well right now. keeping the Ibanez, the red Ibanez RG? No, in fact, I already sent that one back. That one finally went. There's a big break with that one. I had that one here for a few weeks because everybody went on vacation for a couple of weeks. And then finally, I think it was right after, it was like the 6th or the 7th, I finally reached out to them and like, hey, Happy New Year. I got one to send back. I want you to send me some more. I just shot the next video, the Monday's video, today. And, yeah, that's a cool guitar. I don't know. You see if you notice it in my playing, but I kind of really like this guitar. It was a good player. Really good player. And it will be out on Monday. And then I have two more. It's funny because I'm going through, I'm like, what the hell guitar did I order? Oh, right. Oh, yeah, no, I think we're going to look at this one. It's like, oh, right. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. You ordered that. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Well, let's open this one. How many amps does DK have in all? All of them. He has all the amps. It's black and gold until you put a real strong light on it. That's kind of red and gold. It's the world's darkest red. Someone said, I really like a dark red guitar. And Gibson said, hold my beer. What do you like, dark red? Okay. All right. Here's your dark red right here. Yeah, see? Yeah. Hey, Steve, love from the UK. Hello. I've been a fan of the channel for years. Out of all the guitars you've played and owned, which did you find the most inspiring to play? You know, there's been so many good ones over the years. I love my Select Strat. That one always comes to mind right away because I just love the neck on that guitar. Every time, it's one of those guitars that every time I pick it up, I go, why aren't I playing this all the time? Why isn't this like? But it's because it's a really nice guitar and it has a case, and I keep it up on a shelf in case we get, a flood down here. I want to make sure, damn sure, the thing isn't going to get, destroyed in a flood. So that's, and when it's up in a case and it's away and it's on a shelf, it's just not out and about like, like these guitars are, much easier to just pick off the wall. So, but my Select Strat, I really like. My friggin' Telly with the rosewood neck, I don't know if it's the custom shop twisted Telly pickups in it or whatever, but goddamn, I love that guitar. Again, that's another guitar that when I pick it up, I go, I really love this guitar. I really do. Really do. I'm trying to think of other ones. My top of the line Vola is really nice. That's like all like blinged out. That's a really nice one. I actually really like this one. It's a simple guitar, simple lines, weaving, but I've used it in a couple of jam sessions now, and it's really sounded great. It's a very versatile guitar. I could have probably brought that one, but this one was just right out and available, and I just threw it in the bag and took it with me. And the bass player there has been on a bit of a tear, buying a lot of custom shop basses. And so I get there, and he knows that I've been getting a lot of guitars, and he goes, no custom shop? I said, I have one. I thought about it, and I was like, this case is heavy. I'm just gonna bring this one here, and I'm gonna put it in a bag. There you go. You're all fine. God, like I don't. And I really love my. Again, you know what? The ones I really love are the ones that I hold on to and I keep. The one that I didn't hold on to and keep because it wasn't mine, but left a lasting impression, I think, in this past year. I will, I'm not backing down. I really like that Silver Sky. I thought that guitar was friggin' awesome. I thought it sounded great. I really liked the neck profile on it. I really love that guitar, the Silver Sky SE. Like, of all the guitars, that one just really popped out to me. The Fender Tele, that Ventera 2 Tele, was also really, really nice. The first guitar we did, the EVH with the purple, maybe that was just a bling thing where I just thought it looked amazing, but I really like that one. And of course, the blingiest of all, the Sparkle Epiphone V. That was nice too. That whole guitar would like resonate. Like, someone even said, he goes, it's like a giant tuning fork. I'm like, you're kind of right. Kind of is. Whole thing would like, it just felt, the whole guitar felt, it was, first of all, it's enormous. It just felt like the whole thing was just resonating. I was like, yeah, get in there with the riffs. Love it. That's what you want out of a guitar right now. Okay, that feeling. Stoner Shark's pretty good. Stoner Shark has got a little bit thicker neck. I think I like this guitar better than Stoner Shark because of the neck profile. Ugh. I heard many good things about those Rosewood Teles. They're pretty good. Well, they make a Rosewood Strat too. Strat's a little bright though. That comes with custom 50s pickups and a no-load tone. And especially when the no-load tone is on, my God, that's a bright guitar. I think if I had to choose between the two, it's the Tele all day. But here's the thing. That Tele came in two varieties. All right, we gotta realize this. They're both seafoam green, but one of the Teles has individual saddles and twisted Tele, custom shop twisted Tele pickups. That's the one I have. That was the first run. They do a second run where it has brass saddles instead of individuals, right? So it's got the brass saddles, 3 brass saddles, compensated saddles. And it's got like stock American 2 Pro pickups. That is not the same guitar, right? Between the pickup change and the saddle change, it feels like definitely a different bit of a beast. In my opinion, I would get the one I have with the individual saddles. I think it's easier to intonate and easier to set up each individual height. And I think the twisted Tele custom shop pickups sound friggin' awesome. Like some of the best Tele pickups I've ever heard. So, keep your eye out at those for the saddles. Are you getting brass bars, 3 brass bars? Or are you getting 6 individual saddles? Those are 2 different guitars. For me, I'd go with the 6 individual saddle one, because then you're getting those custom shop pickups, unless, let's face it, someone could have modded it. So, right, you're always taking a chance buying a used one. But assuming it's stock, the individual saddle ones will come with the better pickups, in my opinion. Hey, bro, it's Stoner Shark, yeah. Oh, no, he has his own, you know how I say, what's up, dudes? He says, what's up, bro? What a catchphrase. I'm not into the Meteora. I'm not big on the offsets. Just never was. They were played by bands I didn't listen to. So, was never really, unless Vivian Campbell played one for a while. just never really got into offsets. I remember Nirvana burst onto the scene when I was 25. That's a good 11 years past your zone for, like, loving new bands. I was 14 in 1980, and there were a lot of damn good albums in 1980. Man, that was a good year for albums. Real good. Blizzard of Oz. Was Heaven and Hell 80 or was Heaven and Hell 79? I always get that mixed up. I felt like Heaven and Hell came out first, but I could be wrong on that. Maybe they were both 1980. You know, Pink Floyd's The Wall came out in like November of 79. It was practically 1980. I think I bought it in January of 1980. Was it 80? Yeah. Good year for records, man. Yeah, Neon Knives. Yeah, right. Motorhead, Ace of Spades. Yeah, Styx, Cheap Trick. But I think of Cheap Trick, I think more 78, 79. Styx, I think of more like 76. When was Come Sail Away? 75, 76? I had a friend who could sing the opening to Come Sail Away. So good, man. He could belt it. Yeah, Back in Black was 1980. But, you know, Highway to Hell was 79, right? Again, 79 was a good year. I mean, I was 13. Do I have a big vinyl collection? I do not. I'm done with media. In fact, I've spent a lot of these last 2 weeks throwing away a lot of friggin' old media. You know. March 81 for Blizzard of Oz? That doesn't sound right. I could have sworn that was out in 80, not 81. Maybe in your market, but I could have sworn it came out in 80. Like Women and Children First came out in 80, right? Probably March or April. Yeah, see, someone just said Women and Children First, yeah. Yeah, Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, Blizzard of Oz is 80, yeah. Yeah, right, and Diary of a Madman in 81. I mean, a couple of really good albums back to back, you know. And, of course, my favorite, it was at 82, was the live album there that Ozzy hates. Yeah, British Steel, was that 80 as well? But I want to say that Number of the Beast doesn't come out until 82 and Peace of Mind until 83. So maybe Killers is out by 80 or 81? But they don't get Bruce Dickinson, I want to say, until 82. Speak of the Devil. Yeah, God, that was such a great live album with Brad Gillis. All Ozzy's, all Sabbath songs. They finally put out the version with the Ozzy songs later, but that first one was nothing but friggin'. They didn't want to dilute their catalog, so it was all friggin' Sabbath songs with Brad Gillis. God, he sounded great. It was one of my favorite friggin' records. I used to play that nonstop. That and Dio. So when does Holy Diver come out? I got to think that's 83. Could have been 82, but I thought Holy Diver was 83. You know, Journey's Escape, you might be right. Was that 80 or was that 81? That's a good question. Yeah, 83, I thought so. I know Gillis had to learn those songs. Ozzy was like, you coming on tour? He goes, I don't know any of the songs. He says, well, you better get started learning them. Yeah, Mob Rules was 81. Another great album. For Christmas exchange at school, people would often give 45s of all these bands. Yeah. Nice cheap gift, right? What was singles used to be where they were 99 cents for the longest time, but they were probably up to like $1.49 during the gas crunch, right? Because anything related to petroleum went up. Guitar Man. Yeah, you're right. It came on a heartbreaking tour. You're right. He probably hates the album because it represents the loss of Randy, because Randy isn't on the album. Yeah, you know, that's a pretty good working theory. Right? That album sort of represents a pretty dark time in his life. You know. Yeah, no, I get you. That's plausible. All right, Permanent Waves is in 1980, and that has Spirit of the Radio on it, right? Because I remember driving around and that song coming on the radio, you know, and your friends are starting to get their licenses, No, what is it? Hold on. Do I have a, It's like, it's easier on some necks than others. That's with a flanger. With a phaser. How old was I when I injured my knee? I think I was 37. Yeah, moving pictures. Was that the... what was the live album? Is it Exit Stage Left or something? I forget it now. And technically, it wasn't really my knee; it was my tibial plateau. You don't forget that. There it is. Yeah, Exit Stage Left, yeah. I love, that was an album I listened to a lot. You know, I just really got into that. But I was into live albums then, too. I was really into, you know, The Song Remains the Same and the Aerosmith live album there. What was that, One for the Road or whatever that was? No, that's the Kinks. You know, that one. Unmasked came out in 1980. You know, I was just reading a book on Kiss. It's a pretty light, like, coffee table book. But I think the guy sort of sums it up. He said, you know, what killed them was the solo albums. Because it really showed that maybe they were living a lie as Kiss, and it was all just a big act. Because when they went to do their solo albums, they were, except for Ace. Ace was the only one that was sort of authentic and sort of like Kiss, like just a different Kiss album, right? An Ace-focused Kiss album. So it really sort of, you know, and then Dynasty comes out, and it's got the friggin' Kisco song. It's not disco, it's Kisco. All right, Paul. And it's not disco, it's Kisco. We just reinvented a whole new style. It's like, all right, Paul. That dude. And then they have the terrible friggin' movie. It just all sort of just goes down. So by 1980, when Unmasked comes out, my God, that album is just garbage. And they don't really redeem themselves until Creatures. You know, That's what really redeems the the band, and then of course Lick It Up, and they sort of transition into more of an 80s hair metal band until there's enough time without the makeup that they cash in on the nostalgia of putting the makeup back on. So, they sort of lucked into a little bit. It was very easy for that band just to go away and not last as long as they did. You got to hand it to them for keeping it going, like moving a little bit. They're very much the real life Spinal Tap. Yeah, the THU Essentials. Yeah, sure. It sounds good. They, usually even their light versions are pretty, full featured enough you can get some decent sounds out of it. You saw them for the first time, you thought they were made out of plastic. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I just remember, I found Kiss because my parents would go off, and, we were old enough that we weren't really hanging in the toys any longer. We sort of transitioned out of that, and we moved to, hanging out in the record section of the department, of Bradley's or Sears, whatever, Zayre's, whatever store, Mammoth Mart, whatever store you were in, you started to go over to the record section. And we would just go through the records, right? It was something to look at. It was, and just a way to kill time while my parents were shopping, and just going through and looking and running across Kiss, going, what the hell is this? What the hell band is this? Oh my God. So it should be interesting this week. Go check out a few new bands. It'd be good to just hang out and see people. I'll try to get a ton of footage, whatever I can for the, make the trip worth the while. But it'd be good to see everyone. And quite frankly, I usually do about 23,000 steps a day. It wears you out. My new task is finding some sort of a dinner on Thursday or Friday night. That's what I need now. Who is buying me a burger? You asked if you can check out some gear in the Friedman IRJ Jakey Lee preamp. Yeah, so that would be in the boutique audio section. I'll check and see if they have something available to look at. Eventide micropitch. I think Eventide is there. Is Eventide there? Boss is there. Eventide. Yep. Oh, by appointment only. You son of a bitch. Yeah, appointment only, huh? Oh. That sucks. Alright. Maybe not. You'll meet me at Morton's. What do you think that's gonna run ahead? If you're gonna get a beer, maybe get a little appetizer and a nice, let's say a New York strip, right? With a couple of sides. You thinking $100? Cheaper? $80? $100? $120? What's it running? Go there. Gonna get maybe 2 beers. Maybe a little appetizer. Some sort of a New York strip, couple sides, which are probably all a la carte. What do you think that's setting me back? And then let's look at in and out. Steve, do you fly drones? No. Why? Why would you even ask that? Of course not. No. No. What? What? No. No. What? No. I don't even know what a drone is. What is he? What is he? Is that like a? Yeah. Like that? Like a drone? No. No way. No way. We had a party of 4 last year with 600. Yeah, so that's about $150 a head. That's about right. That's about right, about $150 a head. Did you see Tone King's RC car? It was like this friggin' big. Hold on, can I get it on camera? It was like this big. I think you said it was a 1/5 size. Have I ever played any of TTK's Badlands guitars? I have not, but he has invited me over to come on and check some out to get down there. Now, there was a while there where my wife was working in New York quite a bit, but that was for her old company. So I was talking to her about it. I said, hey, are you going to New York at all in the winter? Maybe at the, sometime in February or March, we can take a train down or whatever. She's like, no, not really. She goes, that was an account with my prior company, not with this company. We were down there a lot. She goes, that's why you went with me, because I was down there like every week. I was going down for like a couple of days. She goes, that's why you tagged along that time. She goes, but we can take a trip. It's not it. You can get on the Acela, go first class, and live it up for 3 hours. And then you are a tech guy. I thought you might be into drones. I bought some I want to say it's about 10 years ago. And was it Banggood was the company out of China? And I probably ordered, it was probably about a half a dozen. But I couldn't get used to flying them. We took them down. We have a big field. And then when I say big, I mean enormous. This is an enormous field. And I took it there and trying to get it to go and just could not really, could get it to lift off and maybe start to move, and then I'd have to drop it. I had trouble turning, getting it to bank properly. And I had a real trouble controlling it. I tried all different ones. I had, sort of a medium size. I picked up a couple of really small ones because people said they were easier. Now, supposedly, with GPS and like with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, they're pretty much, plug and play. You can just say, go up in the air and then follow me and it will do it. And they're like really good now. So I'm sure they're a lot easier to use, but back then it was all dedicated remote control. The phone like use was just starting to come in and it was pretty expensive. Most people were using just these like sort of dedicated controllers that would come with them. And they wouldn't go for very long. You might get 15, 20 minutes of sky time, and then you had to bring either swap out the battery or charge it up. I'm sure they are infinitely better now than they were 10 years ago when I was looking at them. They've got to be. Right, just like really easy to use. But I think, having a drone now, subjects you to being, photographed and questioned and had the police called on you. It's not a good time for drone use. But I did try for a little bit. Didn't work out. They used to do the rockets around here quite a bit. They had the rocket launch going on for a while. But those, if it was a windy day, you're never seeing that rocket again. It would go up, the parachute would launch, and you'd watch that thing drift off over a bank of houses. Never to be seen again. Da-da-da. 20-minute warning, damn. Going by pretty quick. Do-do-do. So we'll see what's happening this week. The old NAMM show. The old NAMM show. Yeah, see? Yeah. I'm also going to meet with the Zounds guys. That should be good. Good to put faces to names. It's like that's the one side when you're on YouTube. They know what you look like, but you don't know what they look like. I'll probably see, a whole bunch of other people that I know there. I don't know if Glenn Fricker is going to go because his wife had the stroke. He probably is not going, but I'm not sure about that. He just started to make videos again. So I don't know if he's going to be able to go. I'm going to say he probably isn't. But I don't know. I don't know if it's safe enough that he could be gone for like a couple of days. Who else? Of course, Trey Xavier will be there. And I think Andy, the guitar geek, will be there. Henning will be there. Fluff is going to be there. Oh, my leg. I got to straighten it out here. Ooh, that feels better. Oh, that's right, Davidas. Davidas will probably be there. Probably. Now, last time I got invited to some creators event. I don't know if I'm going to get invited this year. I hope so, if they're doing one. I never did determine the blem on this. I didn't. Yeah, the neck looks way more red than the, right, you can really see the red tint come out more on the neck. Oh. I'll probably bump into you, like always, Phil McKnight. He's not going, huh? Okay. Trailer update? Nah, it's been a little quiet on the trailer. I don't know if RJ's going. That's a good question. I haven't heard him say he was going, so maybe not. Lee Scar's not going to go this time around? Yeah. Well, you know, he's out in Cali. He might have to stick around just to see what's going on with the, you know, with where he lives and, you know, if he's under a red flag warning. 60 Cycle Hum will be there, sure. Max, yeah. Guitar Max is almost certainly going to be there. And who else? Jamie, the bassist, if you know that dude. Just a total phenom on the bass. He was there last year, and I saw him walking through, and I should have just ran over to find him and say hello. And I said, oh, you know what? He's here. I'll just run into him. And I never ran into him again. And I wound up texting him afterwards and saying, oh, dude, I saw you walking through. And I was like, oh, hey, there's Jamie. I got to say hello. And then I never saw you again. So, yeah, I don't know about RJ. I haven't heard that he's going. You know? Christopher says fires to definitely die down. Yeah. There's no smoke. Air quality is much better. Yeah. You know what? You just had to wait for the wind to die down. And luckily, I think when it came back, it didn't quite come back as crazy. You know, I think about, so when I was a kid, around the corner from my house, there was this lot that was undeveloped, but didn't really have any trees in it. In fact, I think the guy was a bit of a developer, and he would like dump stuff in the lot, right? There were piles of dirt. He might have been an excavator or whatever. And then at the start, there were a whole bunch of mounds, so you couldn't really drive your car in there, right? But you could drive your bike in there, no problem, right? There's a little bit of a ramp and a hill to go up and go over and get into that area. And people used to go in there and dump trash, like all the time. And someone had dropped a I guess what would you call that? A hassock, right? Little footrest, right? It was like avocado green. This is in like the 80s, early 80s, 79, 80, somewhere around there. I'm like 13, 14. And it was in there. And it was like smoldering. I said, oh, someone lit this on fire. And you could actually zip it and open it up, and sure enough, inside the thing was like burning. And you could take a little, there was so much garbage there. I grabbed like a piece of cardboard and I waved it a little bit to wave like it, and it burst into flames. And I said, oh, wow. And I sort of closed the lid on it, and it just put it right out and started smoldering again. And I was like, oh, whatever. Well, that's weird, huh? The next day, I went back there again, and just out of curiosity, I opened it up, and I said, I think there's heat coming out of this. And I grabbed that board, and I waved it again, and it took a few seconds, but it started to smoke, and then boom, it burst into flames again. And I was like, wow, that's still burning. Here it is a day later, and that thing is still going. You know, that's pretty crazy. What's your opinion of the Gibson Futura models from 2014? You know, a speaker owned, I think, the Futura SG. And one mod he made was, I think he put a pickguard on it. I don't think it came with a pickguard, which I thought looked really good because it had the satin finish. And the pickguard was gloss. And I thought it broke up the front, like nice. I think it was this, he put like the 61 SG pickguard on it, like this has, the half model, not the full. And the one thing that he didn't like about it, that I've seen a bunch of people do, is they changed the tuners because it has the banjo-style tuners. Are they Steinberger tuners? I forget now, but they're basically a weird tuner. And I've seen people take that and change out the tuners because they didn't like them. Other than that, I thought that guitar sounded really good. And I'm pretty sure it was fairly low cost, too. What's up, James? Joe Bonamassa had a evacuate Nerdville and did not have time to take his gear. Yeah, no, he basically said, well, it's out of my hands now. Just hopefully, and luckily he did not lose anything. But yeah, I said last week, geez, if his place burned down, that might go down as one of the greatest single losses of vintage instruments ever, right? Just all concentrated in one place. It would be a lot. You would lose some, and then you wonder if he just grabs a couple that he absolutely wants to make sure it doesn't get lost. But man, it's hard to choose. What's up, Dwight? And James? Didn't say hello already. Kind of want the teal SG standard. They had a green one. They had the teal. They've had a few. I feel like it's probably on my foot. It is. They've done a few custom colors. Yeah, there's the original. I think the standard falls under the modern now, right? Yeah, standard. There it is. Is that the one you're talking about, the translucent teal? Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. Does look good. Oh, Jesus. Translucent silver mist, classic white, TV yellow, Pelham blue burst, and cardinal red burst. I feel like this would look better with an ebony fretboard, right? Due to the, right, because this would be kind of monochromatic. Like better suited for the modern. God, these menus are annoying me. Yeah, like the SG modern. In purple burst. That does look nice. That, and I think it's a standard, black fade or a blue fade. Yeah. And it gives an exclusive purple fade, right? Yep. The only thing about the SG, they don't save the best tops for these SGs. These SGs tend to be a little mushy. I mean, you can see the flames, but they're never, I mean, I guess it's on a case-by-case basis, but I feel like this is what they do with, like, the CEs, right? It's just a little bit on the mushy side. Oh, Nelson, man. Get some drinks when you're flying, man, to help calm your nerves. But, oh, thank you. Thank you. It's an early flight, so I'm hoping on the way out, to actually, because it's so early, I might even fall asleep a little bit on the flight out, So, but that will help. That helps, just even the trip from the airport to my hotel is going to cost me it used to cost like $55, $60, but now it's more like $85, $90. So that really helps. Absolutely. Yeah. Should be good. I'm looking to actually check out a few different keyboards and synthesizers and see what's out there. I got to keep moving. You know what happens is I'm all gung-ho and then I get there and I walk around for maybe, 3 or 4 hours and then I'm like knocked out. I'm like sitting in the friggin' lounge area for like an hour going, all right, pull yourself together, man. Your shirt is soaking wet, but you're good. You got this. And I'm on to trekking out, Do I own any Kramers? I do own some Kramers. What's up, Christoph? Thanks, Patrick. I have the known traveler ID, and that does help you get through the airport a little easier. Makes it a slight bit easier than when you don't have that. It really does. Not a ton easier, but a little bit. A little bit. What are you most looking forward to seeing at NAMM? I don't know. I'd like to see if Korg has anything new. I want to see what that new I think Marshall's got something like right on the cusp of coming out. I always love to see the Ibanez booth. I'm a big fan of that. Love to see what's going on over at Orange and at Rev. Those are two booths I almost always check. Fender, they're saying that, I'm not sure if it's just meeting rooms and by appointment only or what's going on. ESP is by appointment only this year, so some booths you can't just walk through. You have to have an appointment. And, but we'll see. I'd just like to go through and check out what Furch is doing. I usually check out all my friends first, and then I just start going around and just seeing if anybody's willing to do anything. But a lot of times I'm pooped by then. I'm only there for 2 days, too. The show is only open for 3 days, and I'm only there for the first 2. And then I'm friggin' hiking out of town. Robert Fry says, I bought a Kramer, I think he means Pacer, on deployment thanks to Steve Advice. Great, inexpensive guitar. I didn't need a strap over. So, is it the Robert Fryer? If so, dude, you got to come over and you gotta bring that white Ibby, and you got to if you still have it. I'm sure it's yellow by now. God, it's been 30 years more, 40 years. It's been too long. Not quite 40, but 30. It's up there, 35 at least. And yeah, you got to bring over your guitars, and we can do a show and tell. It would be great to see you. Yes, it's me, and I do. Yeah, I thought when you said deployment, I said, "Oh, I think I know who this is." Yeah, you're still in the area, right? You haven't moved out of state, have you? No, you're still around here, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I'll reach out to you on Facebook. Wait till I come back from LA. Wait till I come back from the NAMM show. Maybe sometime in February. You can trek over and just bring all your guitars, and we'll just sit and go through them. Yeah, no, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'll put on a pot of coffee. It'll be good. Have a good one, speaker. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. We'll talk soon. Guys, have a wonderful week. It is 9 p.m. I am going to... oh, yeah, you're still around near Gillette? Okay, yeah, that's not that. That's like 20 minutes from here. So, absolutely. So, what's next from Steve from Boston? The NAMM show this week. And maybe for 2025, we'll put out the What's Up Dude dancers. I'm working on it. It's a choreography thing. Anyway, have a wonderful week. It was great to hang out tonight. Super thanks to anyone who contributed. I always appreciate that. Brofist, my mod squad. #Brofist, #mod squad. And I don't think we had any new members tonight, but always a big thanks to my members for joining and sticking around. Always appreciate that. Yeah, and like I said, a week from tonight, I'll be getting back around 4 or 5 o'clock in that afternoon. So I doubt I'm going to be on by 7. I still got to get out of the airport and get home. So, but maybe, 9 or 10 o'clock, I'll play it by ear and see how, what's up, and what my availability is. But I'm sure I'll do something that night. I won't skip the week. Let me just put it to you that way. I did last year because I was still in California, and the Wi-Fi out there sucks. So, But anyway, you guys have a great week. I will see you when I'm back from NAMM. I will regale you with all the stories of my tacos. On this taco, I had cilantro and hot sauce, and you guys will be at home. Oh, and I go on. And there you go. No, you rock. All right, dudes. And don't forget, this Monday, new guitar of the week. And I kind of like this one. Just saying. And if I remember correctly, this was a suggestion in the comments. Hey, bro, I'd love to see you check out one of these. And I got one. So if I can get it, I will try to get it. I got one, and it's coming out on Monday. All right. I'll see you on Monday, but not really. It's a miracle of videotaping. And I will definitely see you a week from tonight. All right. Have a wonderful week.